Alright, gotta re-record an intro, baby. Normal days. Alright. Hello everyone, and welcome back to Obliteration Redux. Now, I, pretty recently, got done with flattening a big old chunk of this, and of course, finishing the terrace beneath it. Ow. To make it into more of an actual terrace, because there used to be a hill here. That wall used to not be built. I'm not going to go any farther that direction, because it reveals what I've actually been doing this episode. And building up this terrace here. There's a lot of things. Hi, buddy. Can you not... one sec. Gentlemen. I'd like to not be here. That's the wrong button. No! I'm good at playing video games, guys. I love this game. Die. That way. Oh, okay. Bug. To any new viewers, this game is modded. Could you tell? Could you tell? Get out of here. Get out of my intro. Let me sleep. I have become Pincushion, master of arrows. Anyways. Yes, burn in the daylight. Welcome back to Obliteration Redux. This here has taken forever, like it actually took just a super duper long time. So instead of doing that today and building the cathedral what is behind me now, because I was going to put the cathedral up on this level, I might actually move it to a higher level, because I'm thinking about adding another terrace because of just how weirdly shaped this area is. Like, there's very little space on that edge, and there's a lot of space on this edge, so I might add a third terrace just to make it look nicer, but I also might just make this all flat land and essentially super flat the area. I'm getting nervous having you around. Get out of here. Perish. Okay, good. We're fine. So, instead of doing that this episode, we're going to be building Blackwood. In fact, I'm already building Blackwood. The reason that I had to re-record this intro is because I went into editing software and noticed the fact that the entire audio track was off by about a second. So I cut myself off at the end, which is super annoying. I have an arrow in my shadow. That's awesome. But this episode is getting all the resources and starting the trees to make Blackwood Forest. Hopefully it goes well. I'm pretty sure it went well. I don't know, I kind of blacked out for about half of it. Anyways, let's begin. Alright, so I've been playing around with tree a little bit. And one, I really like this look, even in like every season. In like every season, the moss looks really good. Like in spring, it looks like it's pretty okay. Then if we go to summer, it has a little bit of like a tinge to it, so it's like clearly a different kind of growth. And it looks like it's crawling up the tree, and then of course in autumn, it's even more standout-y, but it kind of looks a bit more alive in this season, because to be fair, the grass is dying, but moss doesn't really die if you ever watch it. And of course, in winter, it stands out the most, and that's really what I'm building these trees for. And if you look at big evergreens as often as I do, because I go on walks and such, you'll notice something strange, and it's that their leaves kind of grow like this. Here, I'm just going to make like a fake branch here. Yeah, it's pretty good. Their branches grow essentially straight out from the trunk. Like, just very much... I'm just going to go in at like a 90-degree angle from whatever the trunk is. And around the branch, there's hardly ever anything on the bottom of them. Like, if you look at your Christmas tree, it very much grows almost like this. And it's super interesting, because it just fluffs out the sides. A little bit out the front, but not much. but it fluffs out the sides, and it doesn't really have much on top of it or below it. So if we were to put something on top of it, then we might do like this. No, I'm gonna sneeze. And then from below, it's just kind of flat. Now, the only problem with this is that you can see the branch, but if it's completely dark, I'm not sure that that's gonna matter much. But also I could do stuff like use trapdoors or something like that instead of branches to kind of add a weird element to it. But I think that this is really nice. And this is just a bit more of that, but fantastical. And I was thinking to make the woods a bit more spooky from branches rather than like from... We have that rather than from like leaves. We have from branches. In fact, yeah, you can't put these on leaves. Okay, yeah, so that's fine. Never mind. Boom. So this was the original idea, but I'm thinking that it actually wouldn't be that bad if we just kind of... Boom. There we go. There, like that. And I think I'm going to start branches actually a bit earlier than this, because if you go underneath of a big old evergreen, you'll notice that there's only like a head's difference, a head's distance between you and the tree. So it might start at like block 3, like right here-ish. So yeah, if we have it like here, then like you can still jump under it. Maybe even lower, actually. But walking around here. But this doesn't look terrible, to the point where I might not even use fences, actually. Because I really want it to be dark. I really want it to be nice and dark. And maybe some leaves are like hanging down. Like there's some droopy branches maybe. Yeah, that's nice. This is all my ideating. And then of course we have little knobs come out. I was thinking about using cherry wood. It doesn't really work that well though. But we could do like little... There we go. That looks nice. I think that looks nice. There we go. And then of course we can have some of these. Like let's take this one for example. There we go. And we can have it like that. And we can take ourselves a shovel. Spelled it wrong. There we go. We got it. And yeah. Already looking a little nice. And we just add some of that fairy tale wonder. Or conversely, we add a little bit of that fairy tale spooky. So we have normal fairy tale, where it's like, oh, there's lanterns by the road, and they're normal lanterns. Nothing is wrong with these lanterns. Or spooky fairy tale. And remember, all this is going to be like dark. Like, it's not always going to be the Aurora Borealis localized entirely in my Minecraft world. Is it snowing? It is snowing, yes. So now we have this. Snowfall, nighttime, very dark. You can't even see into the boughs of the tree. But you can kind of like see through it. I do like, okay. I do like these more. I do... Wait. The problem is that gives the idea of like thick when you're looking up through it. But this is more realistic. And then this over here, Okay, now we look at the tops of the leaves. I don't want to just be using spruce leaves. That's the thing. I do like this layered effect. This looks more evergreen, though. This doesn't. This has too much white in it. But that does look like snow's hitting it. Problems, problems, problems. If only snow, real magic, didn't crash my computer. This is nice, though. I like this a lot. I think I'm going to do these trees for the thick ones, and then they'll just eventually, like, come up to a cone. Where one of these four dominates. And then they're, of course, going to be, like, taller. Probably. And yeah, it's been a few hours, I think. Maybe only like an hour since I started working on this, and I think I'm finally happy with it. So this is the aesthetic that we'd be going for. There's unfortunately a bat. This is the aesthetic that we'd be going for. Very low-hanging branches. I might actually move these ones up 1 block, so there's 4 blocks of headspace. But the 3 blocks makes it feel very close. Even though there's gaps where you can see branches, you can't really see through them. When it's snowing like this, then the snow is completely obscured by the tree itself. We have these roots coming up. This path is going to be what the path looks like. And now for the main look of the thing, we have the tree. A tall evergreen. And what I really wanted to convey was more so than an actual scale evergreen. I wanted to get across the feeling of walking next to one of these things and just being around it, because they feel massive when you're walking around them. This is actually a bit bigger than I would have liked to have had, but it's good for like an enchanted forest look. And that's what I want Blackwood to kind of look like. The only issue that I run into is that it's very hard to do round things in Minecraft, so I wound up accidentally doing a lot of diamonds. But that can be fixed in a while. The main thing that this is actually running off of is this little motif here, if I clear off the snow. Around every block and fence post, we go out 2 from each direction, except for in the diagonal, we only go out 1. And then covering it up, except in certain cases in which we just use judgment, it's azalea leaves like this. Now I might change this to use, where'd they go? Either dark oak or oak leaves, because these can do a great look of, I guess the term would be a patina, because it's kind of that tint. A patina of white in the winter, like there's been fresh snowfall in the top layers, but it's actually affecting the leaves. So I may do this, but I'm not sure if I'm going to do dark oak or normal oak, because if we go over here, that didn't work. We can see that the only difference is that this is dark oak, this is normal oak, and this is spruce. And spruce has a few gaps. In fact, there we go. Spruce has a few gaps, but they're typically like pixels apart. And dark and oak leaves have a few gaps, but they're like 2 pixels apart. The thing that makes dark oak special is that it's very, very dense. And I'm not sure which one goes better with spruce leaves. I'm thinking that I'm going to be using normal oak leaves because they just look more like spruce, potentially because they were designed at the same time. So this is what's going to be going into the world. It costs a lot of dark oak and spruce wood to get the exact look, but here's what it looks like in the daytime. And in clear weather. We have this lovely, lovely tree. So in spring, this is what it will look like. If we use the oak leaves, then it'll look pretty close to the same during the spring. And then if we go to summer, then we have a little bit of green on the top, which is pretty accurate. And then, of course, fall. Have a little bit of a yellowish color, which is also a little accurate, but I think that that might just be because of atmospheric colors making the eyes think that the evergreen tree has turned a little orange. And then, of course, winter, where in which we will get this little glossing of white gray. And you can't really see it from here, but if you're flying by it, then you'll see it and it'll look nice. I do think that I should have leveled these better, but that's a thing that we can do when we get into survival. Most of this is consisting of dark oak and spruce logs with dark oak, what do you call these? Fences. And then down here, this is a lot of mud, rooted mud, moss, mossy cobblestone, and cobblestone. And some path blocks. But I think this is actually going to be the version that we're going to be filling up all of Blackwood with. It's going to cost quite a bit, but it will also look incredible. I just need to map out where I actually want Blackwood to be now. But that's for the survival world, and for the survival warlock. I have been traveling so far, and finally, finally I got to a forest that's far enough away that I really don't care if it dies. So it's time for a little deforestation. Alright, so that is a lot of deforestation. It's not enough, I don't think, but it is to the point where my axe is this low. So I'm gonna turn in my stuff. Yes, I'm not using shaders right now because running shaders in a snowy biome is a nightmare on my computer. Gonna turn in my stuff and I'm gonna fly back here. Because thankfully now that the chunks are loaded, they should load faster. Where'd my stuff go? Alright, my axe is now healed. It's just that flying back takes forever, so we're gonna get back to it. Oh, angel wings. Angel wings. You guys think that this will be enough? I honestly don't, but, oops, wrong button. But I'm gonna take it, and I'm gonna get some dark oak now, because this deforestation site has not been fully deforested, but, we've done work. We've done beautiful, beautiful deforesting work. Alright, off to the next deforestation site that I found on the way here, which is over there. Off we go. Here we go. It's the next deforestation site, and the next day. Oh. Where is it? Where'd he go? Frickin' it. There is more, aren't there? Okay. My computer doesn't deal well with shaders and snow, so I'm going to get started as quickly as possible. But this is the next site. We've got a bunch of dark oak to take care of. And this is going to take forever again. Alrighty. This should be everything we need. We have dark oak and spruce here. A lot more spruce than dark oak, I believe. And then, of course, our leaves. Time to turn this into a forest. Eventually. This is going to take way longer than I think it is. We're already looking pretty spooky. You know, honestly, I'm just going to do a little bit of twisty magic. So with a nice old... Let me get enough room for my mouse here. With a nice old... whoosha. That's right. It's here. It's finished. It's a single tree line. Because I ran out of leaves. Like, I'm not kidding. I ran out of leaves. These used to be full. I used to have things in this world. Now I just have a bunch of dark oak leaves, spruce, and dark oak logs. But it does look nice. Here, let's get a vantage point. Boom. And also, I really have to pump out this video. This is just the beginning of what is to come. I'm going to be working on this all of tomorrow, which is also release day for this video. So, that's exciting. I don't know how this is going to do, but I'm going to keep going at it. Yeah, all these little trees. Well, they're not little. They're about 20 blocks tall each, and there's some wacky stuff going on, actually, with some of the ones closer to cliffs. The branches follow logic of what branches would do, so it actually does slant up on that one, and it does slant down on that one, because it's super close to the coast. I'm planning on also terraforming... this down here. Oh, dear merciful heavens. I was afraid of that. See them coming through like men in ghillie suits. Alright, let's just You need to die. You need to die. You need to die. I don't interact with things on things that I built with melee attacks, because that leads to the things that I built dying. Perish. Okay. Heal my axe. Thank you. Yeah, it's just a tree line for now. Hopefully it will become a full forest soon. I'm going to be working on it for a good deal of time. But yeah, I have actually run out of any amount of leaves to build these. About each of these layers takes maybe a stack of spruce leaves at least. And it's quite a laborious task to do so. But we have these thick ones, they have these big roots. This entire area is also going to get kind of dredged out when I re-terraform it, because I'm going to be terraforming around the trees, because I really like the idea of the trees being a part of the structural element, like their roots themselves are a part of what's keeping this thing alive. And there are also these every now and then, which are just 1x1 trees, adding a little bit of diversity to what you're looking at whenever you actually see it. And also being able to close up some gaps. No! My child. Nothing was harmed. Okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's okay. It's okay. Didn't hurt my baby. Okay. It did hurt my child. Let's restructure a branch really quick. Need to get a torch in my offhand. There we go. Now I can see what I'm doing. Then poof. Probably not the full extent of what a bottom. Never mind, it seems to be the exact extent of what this looked like. Okay, we're fine. I am going to light this place up with torches and kill the aesthetic very quickly. But the reason that I'm doing that is to make sure that that doesn't happen again. Eventually, this will be dimly lit with a bunch of glow lichen and these lamps. But until I can actually get that done in a satisfying manner where the shader doesn't make it look overly lit like this is. Like, this is what the shader sees, right? This is what the actual world sees, so the light from this lantern only goes out to like here. But with the shader, give it a second, the light from the lantern spreads out much, much, much farther. Or at least it seems to, because it's so much softer on its edges. So, the lanterns, the soul lanterns that I'm trying to get across is that they look much brighter than they are with shaders on, which is a bit of a detriment to the aesthetic. But that's fine. Like, eventually this will all be black, and it'll just be spooky. There we go. That should do it for now. But this is the beginning of Blackwood. And hopefully I can get it done. But I said the same thing over there. To be fair, though, that is much more of a laborious task. This is at least fun to do. The front border of this forest is done, and eventually I will be dredging out its basin and putting in a bunch of mud. But until then, so thank you so much for watching. We're wrapping up the video. Hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Safe travels, happy hunting, and Sola Dea Gloria.